Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Tamika. This is Library of Tomes, where I talk to you about all the bookish things going on in my life. I'm still working on a new introduction now that I have to introduce myself with my pen name, which I write under the pen name Stella Ferris, if you didn't know. Hi, how are you? So today we're going to be going over some of my favorite romance tropes, and I am doing this in collaboration with my friend Shelby over at Shelby Taggart Reads. We are uploading this at the same time, so if you want to go watch hers right after you finish watching mine, I would love for you to show her some love. And if you're coming from her channel, hi, how are you? So I reached out to Shelby and I was really excited she said yes to doing this collab because I love romance tropes, and I thought it would be really fun to talk about some of my favorite romance tropes and recommend some books to go along with them. So I'm going to recommend one book per trope, and I have 5 tropes here. So without further hesitation, I'm going to jump on into the tropes. So the first trope I want to talk about is actually an age gap, and I read a lot of books with an age gap, and it was really hard for me to pick my favorite one to talk about, but I wanted to go with a Brianna Hale because I feel like Brianna Hale does age gaps really, really well. And I wanted to pick something that I don't talk about all the time, so I decided we're gonna go with The Vow of Obedience. This is an age gap dark mafia romance. This centers around a hero who is much older than our heroine. She is like 18, I think. She's very, very young, and the whole point is he is trying to seek revenge on her father, and the way that he does that is by taking his daughter. And they develop a romance. It is everything you would expect in a Brianna Hale. It's dark and it's gritty and it's taboo, and it's just my favorite things about her writing. Her writing is absolutely gorgeous, like always, and it's just a really fun time. There are so many age gap romances that I want to read though, and the one thing I will say with age gap is I'm a little biased because I'm not super familiar with older woman, younger guy. I always read older guy, younger girl, so that's something I should probably throw out. I do want to read some older girl, younger guy books, so if you have any recommendations, let me know so that I can read those. So my next trope is brother's best friend trope, and I really like this trope. I've read it several times. It is a go-to. If you tell me it's a brother's best friend, I'm gonna be reading it. I'm gonna pick it up. It is one of my best friend's favorite trope in the whole world, so she's always recommending books with this trope to me. So the one that I'm going to recommend to you is The Breakup Bet by Kat Carman. And I know I recommended this to Shelby and Shelby loved it. And I loved this book. This follows a girl who is like living in, I think it's like New York City, and she is a food blogger and she can't pay her rent. Her roommate moves out, so her brother's best friend moves in. They decide to share the apartment and split the rent. And they end up having a romance, and there's a bet between them of who can get over their ex the fastest, and whoever wins gets to pay the next 6 months rent. So whoever's method is the best and whatnot. And it is adorable and hilarious and so steamy, and it is just a precious little book, and I want everyone to go read it. It is available in KU, and I can't wait to read the remainder of this author's backlist. So the next one is A Broken Hero. I adore A Broken Hero. I love getting the hero's backstory and figuring out why he has acted like a jerk, or sometimes it's just been really distant. I really love getting that background and kind of like wanting to comfort this hero and be there for them, and I really love that emotional attachment that I get whenever I find out something heartbreaking and tragic has happened to this hero. And the recommendation that I have for this is Lover Awakened by J.R. Ward. I absolutely adore this book. It is my favorite book in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. It follows Zadist. He is a broken hero. He is a sweet being. I love him with my entire heart and soul. He is so closed off and shut off from the world, and he doesn't think he deserves love, but he absolutely does, and I just adore him. And getting his backstory was so heartbreaking and hard for me to read because I was like emotionally drained reading it because I just loved him so much, and I hated that he went through so much hardship. I highly, highly, highly recommend reading this book because it is absolutely amazing, and I loved it. So next up on my list is a hate to love romance, and I'm not even gonna lie, I am like a sucker for like, I hate you, but I want to love you kind of tropes. Like I love it. I love when a character is something and they become a total opposite by the end. So I love watching the growth from a hate, angsty, enemies type of situation to they love each other and they're lovers and they want to be together. I think the angst between them and the will they, won't they is just so much fun and I adore it. So my recommendation for this one is Hate Notes by V. Keelan and Penelope Ward. I'm recommending this because I read it off of Shelby's recommendation. This follows a woman finding a dress in a thrift shop. She is selling her dress because she just called off her engagement to her ex-fiance. She's selling the dress. She actually can't get money out of it. She's got to get store credit. So she takes home this beautiful feather dress that has a sweet note written in it. And she then goes and finds the guy and ends up working for him. So it's super adorable, super angsty, and just so much fun to watch them go from like enemies to like kind of frenemies to friends to lovers, and it is just so cute. I can't handle it. So this one is, I'm kind of cheating on this. This is not necessarily a trope, but a category within romance that I kind of want to recommend, and it is the taboo or forbidden category trope area, and this is kind of where I lie with most of the books that I write personally and the stories I want to tell. So this is kind of the ones that I'm always gravitating to. I'm always looking for something dark and taboo and forbidden and just out of the norm. So I wanted to recommend Desperate Measures by Kate Robert. This is a Jasmine and Jafar retelling. It is dark, it is taboo. This has dubious consent, which is consensual, non-consensual. They have like a relationship where Jasmine likes to say no and deny him and defy him, and she likes that struggle. She likes when Jafar is like, no, we're doing this, and she likes to fight back with him, and that's kind of part of their relationship, is having this relationship where she fights him, but he knows that she wants it and she knows she wants it. So it's always consensual, but it's always like a game for them, and it's very dark, and if you can't handle it, like, I wouldn't recommend going into this. This is definitely more of the very dark side of the romances that I read, and I wouldn't recommend this for someone who's just starting to get into romance, because you have to kind of know what you like in order to get into this category, in this trope. I want to say trope in parentheses, this area of romance. So it's a really good story. It's a really good book, but like I said, I don't recommend this for the faint of heart, because there is a lot of dark things in here. He does kidnap her in a way, and he kind of keeps her because he won't let go of her trust fund. So it's a whole thing. It's really good though, and I really, really recommend it. So those are all of the books that I want to recommend and all the tropes that I love in the genre. These are only my top 5. I have so many other tropes that I love within the romance genre, but these are the ones I decided to pick. Let me know what your favorite trope is in the comments, and don't forget to go check out Shelby's channel. I will link that down below, and watch her video that goes along with this. And like I said, all my links are in the description if you want to be my friend on any other platform. I have Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads all down below. Click them, go to them, be my friend. I don't bite. I will see you all in my next video. Bye everyone.